Welcome back, Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classics slash Non-Classics. This is episode number 203 and Doubleshot number 137. Two Batman trades this time, not one, just two. First up, it's Batman Blink. And this contains issues of Batman Legend Dark Knight, really awesome series. Contains issues 156 to 158 and 160 to 167. Two stories, Blink and Don't Blink. The artwork is done by the late, great Dwayne McDuffie. And the artwork is done by two different artists, Dan Green and Val Simmons. Val Simmons, he's known for doing 1 Million and Lobo. And Dan Green is known for doing Justice League America, and he's known for doing Wolverine. Now, what's the story here? There's two different stories. First time, it's just basically Batman's looking for a serial killer. And this guy, Blink, who is also blind, who can see through his dog as well, and he basically also can see by touching people. He can see through their eyes. And with that, he was able to catch a serial killer. But the serial killer, for a while before he was captured, was able to evade justice because of high society. Yeah. Doesn't that sound familiar? Yeah, it does. Even though I kind of heard that before prior to reading this, because I also saw an episode of the TV show Gotham, where the serial killer was actually a socialite. Yep. The Don't Blink stuff is just the follow-up to this one. Now, the first story is only 3 parts. Don't Blink is 4 parts. But both are really good. Let me give you a sample of this guy's artwork. Here's an artwork of the first story arc. The second one. The second one, which is done by Val Simmons. This is a sample of this guy's artwork. Yeah, both artists are really good in here. It's a nice little standalone story. It takes place during Batman's early years. I would say during the first or second. I would say definitely before. Now, Commissioner Gordon here is Lieutenant. So my guess is this kind of takes place just I would say just toward the end of Batman's first year, maybe at the start of his second year, because there's no Robin here, and there's no Searchlight at all. But it's a nice little story, and it's a great read. And I do recommend it, especially Batman fans. I personally did not hear much about this story. I don't know why no one talks about this story. The story is really good, especially if it was written by an awesome guy like Dwayne McDuffie. Just too bad he passed away before I got a chance to meet him, because this guy's good. This guy's awesome. All right, I gave that one 9 out of 10. It's a great book. This next one is Batman: Road to No Man's Land, Volume 1. Now there's a lot of issues in here. This one has Detective Comics 722, 724, 26, Batman 555, 559. Batman Shadow Bat 7579, Ron 54, and Batman Chronicles 14. And this is just a collection of the Aftershock storyline, which came right after Cataclysm, and it's like one of I would say it's book 2 of a series of storylines that was happening in the Bat books from Cataclysm all the way until No Man's Land. Basically, a period of about 2 years worth of storytelling. Now, I would recommend reading the Cataclysm trade first before reading this book, and then read this book, then read book 2, and then read the new trade editions of the No Man's Land books, which are actually 4 books long. I'm not kidding. It's even longer than the Nightfall trades. And they actually re-released those first before releasing this. Now, this is not a re-release of a previous trade. This is a brand new original trade. These issues have never been collected before. These issues went uncollected for years until last year. This trade was released in October of last year. Now, who does the writing on all of these books? The Shadow Bat issues are written by its regular writer, Alan Grant. Batman is done by Doug Moak. Detective Comics and Robin are done by Chuck Dixon. Awesome writer. Let's see, what else? Yeah, and the Batman Chronicles one, this one has 3 stories in it. The first story is written by Lisa Klink. Yeah. The second story is done by Bruce Cowell, and get this, the artwork is done by the awesome Jim Aparo. Yeah, I like this guy's artwork. And those who are somewhat familiar with Jim Aparo, he's also known for creating Katana with Mike W. Burr. That's a Huntress story. And the last one here is called Random Encounters, and that's done by the awesome Greg Rucka. And of course, the artwork is done by Sal Buscema. Now, Jim Aparo not only does the artwork for one of the stories of Batman Chronicles, he also does the artwork for one of the, at least one. He also does for some of the, he does an issue of Detective. He does like pretty much like all the Detective Comics issues in here, and he does one issue of Batman. Now, basically, dealing with the after effects of what happened during the events of Cataclysm, Gotham City is in ruins. Yes, Gotham City is in ruins at this point. And people are still trying to recover after the events of Cataclysm, after that big, humongous earthquake just turned the city to, like, rubble. And it's not until the end of the storyline No Man's Land when the city actually gets rebuilt, because the city remains in ruins for about a year. I'm not kidding. A whole year of storytelling, and the city is in ruins. And plus, you get guest appearances by C-list supervillain, the Clue Master, who's the father of Spoiler. Nightwing shows up in here, but here's the thing. Nightwing's book is not involved with this storyline at all. Nightwing doesn't get involved with until No Man's Land. And there's a good reason, because he's out of town. Now, the Hunter story I thought was a really good... I felt as though it was a bit short. It was just a quick, like, little story. I mean, I would have loved it if they could continue this little story. Basically, the story is basically Huntress saving a little girl, two little girls from captors, and then afterwards, Huntress gives her a kiss in the cheek, just for also saving her life as well. Cute little girl. Let's see if I can find it here. Who the cute little girl looks like. Yeah, I love this little story. It's just too bad that the storyline, the story itself is very quick. It just feels very quick. It's called Lenz Fringe, and this is the one done by Bruce Will and the Jim Aparo artwork. The story is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's only just 10 pages. It's just a quick little story. I just wish they would have continued this. They would have had another follow. It would have followed up to this particular story. Here's an example of the awesome Jim Aparo's artwork. I really wish they would have had a continuation of that story, maybe like in a Huntress miniseries. But the thing is, there was no Huntress miniseries published at this point, and also there hadn't been a Huntress series come out since the early '90s at this particular point in time. This storyline was originally came out in the year. Find it here. In the year 1998. I'm not kidding. 1998. Yep, 1998. And this cover of this book, that's the cover for issue 79, the last issue of Shadow of the Bat. This back cover here, this is actually the last page of one of the books in here. But really good idea to release this now, especially since I'm sure people have been begging DC Comics to release these issues for trade, and they finally did it. And the one thing I love about these issues is the covers. They look like movie posters. Look here, here's Batman Shadow of the Bat number 75. That looks like a movie poster. It looks great. Yeah, these covers are freaking great. I'm not sure who does the cover art in here, but this guy should get an award for doing the people who do these covers of these issues should get an award for doing beautiful covers. Here's Detective Comics. Yeah, I'm talking a lot about this thing. A little more than I am the Blink one, but yeah. The Robin one is basically just a regular cover, but it's still a good cover, mind you. And yes, spoilers in the issue. It's like her only appearance in this particular thing. Oh, if you want to know what Clue Master looks like, I just passed him. Let's see. Here he is. This is the infamous C-list villain, the Clue Master, who happens to be the Riddler's best friend. I am not kidding about this. This guy's good friends with the Riddler. For crying out loud. And this guy is a C-lister. We're thinking, Clue Master? Yeah, not only is a C-list supervillain, but he's also the father of Spoiler. And yes, he did show up Batman Returns. Do you know that? Yeah, that was his first post-continuity appearance. I mean, here's the cover for Batman. I mean, I'm not sure if all the covers in here, but these covers are so good. I would say my favorite covers are in this book are probably from the Shadow of the Bat series. Yeah, the Shadow of the Bat ones basically have these gorgeous little. These covers are just great. Yeah, these covers are great. Like I keep saying, yeah. Now this cover right here, I believe they also use this very cover for the second trade of this particular trade series. They use this very cover. Yeah. But that's one thing I love about Shadow of the Bat is these freaking covers. Now here's Batman Chronicles. Here's the odd thing though. Batman does not take a part in the issue at all. Neither does Robin. Basically, it just a Huntress story with second story. The first story is all about Alfred trying to stop looters, people from looting the mansion. Let me show you the cover for the last issue in the book, which I believe is a no, it's not that one. It's the Shadow of the Bat issue, I believe it is. Oh, it might be Teta Comics, yeah. Beautiful cover. Now, I don't want to reveal too much of the storyline, but I just reveal bits and pieces of it, but I do recommend this. Now, this book itself is $30, but it's well worth the cover price because you get a lot of stuff in here. You get about, let's see, I think it's 4, 9, that's 14, 15. There's 16 issues in this book, and you get your money's worth. You get 16 really good issues in this particular story. You also get appearances by Mr. Freeze, the Penguin, alongside with the Clue Master. Heck, there's even appearance by the Joker in here. I'm not kidding. So, because this trade is so awesome, I'm giving this trade and the storyline here in this particular book a 9.5 out of 10. Awesome. Alright. Stay tuned for the next episode, which should be episode number 204. And possibly Doubleshot number 138. Until then, see you there. Bye.